Gift list pressure. Bill, my wife gets mad that I don't tell her what I want for Christmas or birthdays. Yeah, well, because then she has to guess. Anyways, obviously, now the issue is Christmas. I told her I have everything I need, and like you, I'm trying to thin out all my junk. It actually stresses me out because I'm being led to feel bad for not wanting to be gifted something. Just ask her for an experience. Just ask her, you want to go to a car show or something like that, something we can do together. Just do that so she has something. All right? We both make a lot of money and buy whatever we want. She doesn't need anything either, but gave me a cute idea of something small and just wants to make me happy. But in a roundabout way, it ruins the fun of it sometimes. How do you deal with this? Yeah, I usually just ask for an experience. There's usually some place I want to go to. Like I'm a big fan of hamburger stands, like greasy spoon type places. I'm not a big fan of fancy fucking restaurants. I mean, I like going there, whatever. But like, I love going to like, there's a couple places. A place on Bill's Burgers I wanted to go to, ironically enough. Although I heard the guy doesn't work there anymore, but the burgers are still tasty. I love a great taco truck, food trucks. I like doing like shit like that. I like going to car shows. I went to a Christmas party at this custom motorcycle shop, the one that Keanu Reeves bought into, and went down and just and that, to me, as an adult, that was like Christmas. I went down there and they were talking about how they make the parts by hand and how like a 1,200-pound slab of like aluminum will come in. And from that, like ice sculptors, except they use it with aluminum, they make parts for these absolutely gorgeous motorcycles, ARCH motorcycles. And I don't know, like I think because I became like a closet gearhead out here where I don't know how to do any of that shit, but I could literally watch somebody work on a car, describe how Eric the car guy, I'm a huge fan of his. I love that shit. So whatever the hell you're into, she loves you. She wants to give you something. Jesus Christ. It's like she's going to buy you a desk. Anyways, you got a bottle of booze you like? I don't know. Boxing. Hey, Billy Bankshot III. I've recently been getting fitter thanks to training sessions at a boxing gym. Good for you. And wanted to test myself and try some low-level, legal, of course, amateur boxing. Dude, there's no fucking reason to get your bell rung for no fucking money when you're not going to try to pursue it as a profession, man. Be careful. She goes, my girlfriend won't allow it. Good for her. She likens me trying it out to her trying out stripping in front of a crowd and how against that idea I'd be. Can't say she's wrong. Do you reckon I should try a couple of fights just to see if I like it and not tell her? Or do I respect her wishes and leave it as a question that doesn't need to be answered? Sir, I would never tell you not to pursue your dreams, but I wouldn't do it sneaking around. I would, at the very least, tell her that you're going to do one fight. But, what are you going to, what if you go and you get your fucking nose broken and then you got to show up and try to be like Luca, all right? My name is Luca. I live on a second floor. I walked into a fucking door. You don't have to do that. Right? I don't know. Yeah. Communication is always the way to go with the woman is what I've learned and I keep learning. And you communicate with them, and through the communication, they'll end up telling you how it's going to go down because it always goes down the way they want it to go down. And that's basically it. And that's basically it, dude. What they say goes if you want to stay with them. And it's brutally not fucking fair, but you're a guy and nobody gives a shit. So what I would do if you're going to go ahead and do with it anyways, I would just tell her that you're going to do it. It's something that you need to do, something you need to prove to yourself, or whatever the fuck it is. And Other than that, keep moving your head there, buddy. Overrated. Living in major cities. Is there anything worse than a bunch of losers thinking that if they live where it's cool to live, that they're cool too? Oh, dude, you're preaching to the choir here. That's what I've done my entire adult life, and I am not cool. They completely deny the fact that living on top of one another is frustrating and unnatural. New York smells like shit. L.A. is overcrowded. New York doesn't smell like shit. Areas of it does. Manhattan is like a giant Bed Bath & Beyond now. L.A. is definitely overcrowded. Absolutely. But I got to be honest with you, though. So where are you suggesting to live? Because if you get too rural, then that just gets too fucking boring. Your food options, a lot of options, you know. You want to go see a band and they're not going to come anywhere near you. Now you got to jump in a car for 4 fucking hours. I definitely envy people who live in wide open spaces and shit like that. I think it's really cool. And I got a lot of respect for people that live out there like that. But just living where I've lived, I don't know how long I could do it. I go a little fucking stir crazy. Although there's a lot of people here in LA that, you know, have that second home in fucking Wyoming or whatever. But my wife would never go for that. So, and she makes the decisions. Underrated. Living in mid-sized cities. Oh, here's his answer. There's nothing better than a city that's not really a city. I'd go with that. And I have my favorite ones. And these are all cities. I wouldn't say they're not cities, but like, I'm a big fan of Milwaukee, Chattanooga. What else comes to mind? Those are two of my favorites. Is that it? I think so. I mean, I enjoyed when I was up in Idaho and in Montana. It just seems like nobody really fucks with you up there. But then they have like a massive meth problem. So there's always something. There's always something. You know what I mean? I just wish with all the fucking global warming like that, I just wish that those people could still enjoy the climates that they moved there for. Because, you know, just growing up on the East Coast and everything, I think it's, you know, I miss the 4 seasons and shit. And I also think it's really cool to kind of live out in places like that. You know, having said that, you know, the experiences that I've gotten living in LA, this is one of my favorite cities. And I also love New York as much as I make fun of both of these cities. Where else? Living in a sports town. I'll tell you what's underrated too after you move away is going back and living in your fucking home state again. You know, and you don't have to buy all the fucking sports packages just to watch a regular season game of your team. That's pretty fucking overrated too. All right, that's the podcast for this week. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Oh, Hanukkah's going on right now. Happy Hanukkah to everybody. And go fuck yourselves, and I'll check in on you on Thursday.